Hi, welcome to BrainCheck. If you just signed up, you're looking at the screen you'll come back to every day. So let me walk you through what each piece does and how a typical workflow feels. Navigation includes 5 places to know. Orders is where you create and track assessments. Patients is where those assessments live over time. Interpretation videos teaches you how to read the results. Billing provides guidance on how to get paid for the work, and the knowledge base is support when you need it. You can also get additional support by clicking on the chat icon here in the bottom right corner. Up in the top is your menu where you can get to information about your account, your team, and your custom configuration. We'll come back to that a little bit later, but let's get started with orders. An order is a single or bundle of cognitive assessments assigned to a patient or care partner. Every order has a status: not started, started, ready for generation, complete, or canceled. This left rail gives you filters to see your orders list by status, the date that it was completed, the provider assigned to the order, or specific tests that you care about. It could be a single or multiple test, or maybe you want to see it by impression of the BrainCheck Assess. But let's go ahead and create a new order. The first thing you do is select what test. BrainCheck ships with a library of 30 clinical evaluation tools: cognitive screeners, depression and anxiety scales, functional assessments, caregiver inventories, all right here in the platform. Let's go ahead and start with a BrainCheck Assess. Next, who is the assessment for? You can pick an existing patient or add a new one right here with a single click. Care partner is optional, but it's useful for those care partner focused instruments or things like the care plan. The provider is whoever's clinically responsible. And for things like BrainCheck Assess, for billing requirements, you may have to capture the reason for testing. And lastly, is the assessment going to be completed in clinic or remote? If they're remote, BrainCheck sends a secure link to the patient or care partner to take the test on their own device. If they're in clinic, you just hand them a tablet. Same experience, either path. So we can go ahead and create the order, and now that order is in the system. To begin the patient order, you can click on the Begin Order button, and it launches the patient-facing experience. So this is what your patient sees. The language choice, English or Spanish, are automatically built in. As they start the test, we give them some prep tips before they get started, and then they can get into the test themselves. This is our BrainCheck Assess. It's an FDA Class II digital cognitive assessment that provides standardized, repeatable measures of cognitive function to support clinician-led interpretation and care planning. It's a flagship assessment within BrainCheck that helps test on multiple cognitive domains, and is designed to support early identification of potential cognitive impairment, objective measurement of cognitive performance, and provide a longitudinal monitoring of cognitive change over time. We start by testing the immediate memory with a 10-word memory. As the test is completed, it's submitted directly back right into your workflow so you can see those. Let's go ahead and take a look for a completed order. Right here from the completed orders page, you can see a raw score, the general impression right here in plain language. Makes it super easy to see what the results were. If you need more detail, you can simply click on the download report to download the full clinical report of the BrainCheck Assess. This single report gives you information like the patient demographics and the date of the test, gives you the general impression and raw scores, as well as each score based on the cognitive domain that was tested. Gives you additional assessment details so you can make the proper clinical decision on what next step is best for the patient. Now let's head over to the Patients tab. This is just another way to think about the same type of data, but in this case it's organized by person, not by assessment. So as you click on the patient, you can see all of their information, including their demographics, their full order history, as well as their care partners. Cognitive care is longitudinal. You're not running just a single test, you're trying to track that person over months and years, and so being able to see all of their orders in a single spot helps you see that. Care partners lets you easily see the spouses, adult children, or primary caregivers that can be linked to a patient and included in their caregiver-focused assessments. That's especially valuable for dementia care, where the caregiver's perspective often drives the clinical picture. Up here in the interpretation videos, this is actually something that tends to surprise our new users. Most clinicians, primary care, neurology, psych, or geriatrics, didn't necessarily train specifically in cognitive assessment interpretation. So we actually had a geriatric psychiatrist record a library of short videos walking you through exactly what each result pattern means and what to do next. It's built in, it's free, and it's the difference between getting a score and actually knowing what to do with it. And your whole team has access. Here in the billing area, it helps show you the code and CPT guidance that you may need to be able to submit your cognitive assessments correctly. The CPT guidance is built by a certified coder. The knowledge base is our support center that gives you a lot of how-tos, workflow guides, answers to all the questions that you'll have in the weeks to come that you may not have as soon as you're starting out. So let's go back over into our account menu where you can see these last couple of steps. The first that I want to show you is the ability for you to create a custom order. Most practices end up with a standard protocol, maybe 3 or 4 different instruments that you're always running together. And what you can do is create that custom order and protocol here so that it makes it easier for you to create and use that in a pre-bundled sense moving forward. So maybe you want to start with the GAD-7 for anxiety, maybe the GDS for depression, and maybe you're also doing the PCL for the 5 questions to see about post-traumatic stress. You can save that as a custom order and makes it super easy to use this protocol moving forward without having to select each assessment individually. You can also, in the menu, help to manage your staff and your users to invite them to the right role and get them access to the system. All right, so that's the tour. 5 places in the nav, the account menu, and a main core workflow that takes about 90 seconds to create and submit an order to a patient to be completed. So here's what I do next. Pick a patient you're seeing this week and run one real order. That's your fastest way to make all this feel like yours. And again, welcome to BrainCheck.